Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making a delicious spice cake, perfect for the holidays. So let's get started. First off, set your oven to 350. Then, in a large bowl, we're gonna combine 360 grams or 3 cups of all-purpose flour with a couple other amazing things. To leaven this delicious cake, I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Always check the expiration date on your canister. If baking powder goes bad, it really loses its potency and it doesn't last as long as you think. I also want half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and now it's time for the spices. Starting with 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. In this cake, I'm using some of my favorites, but sometimes you want to have the flavors be a little bit more clear, so you pull back some of the spices. Sometimes you want to have a rich melange, so go ahead and use your favorites. 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, little bite, half a teaspoon of cloves, a powerful and delicious, very Christmassy spice. I also want half a teaspoon of nutmeg. This is a nutmeg nut. You can use ground nutmeg if you'd like. I always think that if you do it yourself, it's a bit more get a little bit more flavor. It smells amazing. If you wanted to, you could also add in a heaping 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. I would add in maybe half a teaspoon of allspice. Those would be my 2 favorites to add, but it's really up to you. Okay, grab a whisk, and we're gonna mix. Whisk it up, it stays in the bowl. And once those spices and leavening agents and the salt are evenly distributed, we can grab another large bowl and get onto the wet ingredients. Okay, here's the deal. Taking my scale back, zeroing it out. I do not like packing brown sugar in the measuring cups anymore. It clumps it up. You're actually making giant clumps and it's so annoying. So we're gonna add this in and just weigh it out. Oh my gosh, I was like, what's in here? There's a marshmallow. I was like, I feel something, it's a finger. No, they're just marshmallows. Marshmallows help keep your brown sugar moist. So 440 grams, 2 cups packed brown sugar. As it is, I can see there's some clumps, so feel free to break those up with your hands. I love the way brown sugar feels on my hands. But aside from that, the clumps are really annoying to try and mix out, so if you break them up now, it'll be much easier later. 440 grams, delivery fill. Oh my gosh, this one is so lumpy in a freshly opened bag. Perfect. Oh my gosh, it's the longest sequence ever. Get rid of that scale for now. Half a cup of buttermilk. Buttermilk gives you a wonderful little bit of tang. It's also acidic, so that means that it's gonna help inhibit some of the gluten bonds from happening and give you a more tender cake. 1 cup of oil. You can use any neutral oil that you prefer. The nice thing about having oil in a cake versus butter, and you know I love butter, I'm never gonna speak badly about it, is that it'll come out of the fridge and be perfectly soft. If you have a butter-based cake, you actually have to warm it up in the microwave a little bit or let it sit on the countertop for a while until it's nice and room temp. I also want 1 cup of applesauce. I love having applesauce in my cake recipes. It'll give you a little bit of apple flavor, a lot of moisture, and it lets you use less fat in the cake, which is really just gonna give you a tender, moist cake that will never be oily. I need 4 large room temperature eggs cracked into a separate bowl. I don't want to have any shells. Not in my cake. I've gotten so paranoid about shells lately just because I was making scrambled eggs one day and a shell got in there and it was the worst thing ever. Sometimes you get an egg that's just kind of crumbly, it just shatters into 1,000 pieces. Okay. Grab your whisk, and we're gonna whisk these wet ingredients up. We're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla in, just to gild the lily. It'll add a little bit of depth of flavor, and I can never say no to vanilla. If you want to omit it, you totally could. You could also add in a teaspoon or 2 of bourbon or rum for a little bit of extra flavor. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Time to combine the wet and the dry. This is such an easy cake. There's no need for a mixer. That really means it's perfect for little ones to help you in the kitchen, if you'd like them to. Add the wet to the dry. I spy with my little eye some clumps of brown sugar that made it through. I'm not even gonna bother with them. Set those aside. You can add it to your cake. It'll be fine. They'll just be like little sugar voids, and you'll get these big sweet holes. So I'd rather not. I want a homogeneous mixture. I'm gonna stir this together until it is almost combined. Just scrape the bottom with your whisk as you turn and go slow. If you over mix the batter, you know it's gonna be like a dense, does not melt in your mouth cake. You don't wanna activate the protein in the flour. Oh my gosh, but the smell. Ooh, those spices, so nice. A couple of additions you could do to this batter, by the way. I would say like some toasted pecans or walnuts that were chopped finely would be really nice. If you wanted to have a little bit of candied ginger in here, that's an option too. Okay, let's see. I don't see any flour. It looks nice and smooth. It's time to distribute the batter into 2 9-inch pans. Give them a little spray. You could use butter if you wanted to, but this will work just fine. And by the way, this batter is so loose, it'll bake up nice and flat. But if you wanted to, you could use cake strips. You'll just increase the bake time a bit. These guys go into the oven 30 minutes at 350 or until the centers are springy to the touch. And while they bake, we're gonna make a luscious cream cheese frosting. For the frosting, I'm adding 1 cup or 226 grams of room temperature unsalted butter, although you could use salted for this really, if you want a little touch of contrast. 8 ounces or 226 grams of softened cream cheese. Let's cream this up really quickly and get the cream cheese all mixed in with the butter. Then we can add our powdered sugar and vanilla in. Nice, smooth, and fluffy. I'm going to scrape the bowl down just to make sure there's no like bit of cream cheese or butter lurking around. And then we can add in our 6 cups of powdered sugar slowly in a few batches. That's 6 cups or 720 grams. Mix on low. I wouldn't mind like a little pinch of salt, so optional, but have at it. This is all mixed in. Let's add the remaining 3 cups of powdered sugar. There we go. Cream cheese frosting is soft, luscious, and amazing, but it's soft. So I'm gonna show you how to decorate this cake to kind of hide the imperfections when we get to that step. For now, keep mixing until it's fully combined, then scrape the bowl down, and we're gonna mix one more time. Nice and creamy. I'm gonna add in half a teaspoon of vanilla. And then it's time to give it one final scrape down. Look at this frosting though. It looks so nice. Scrape down successful, mix one more time. And just like that, we can assemble our cake. My cake layers are cool, my frosting is creamy, so that can only mean it's time to assemble. And by the way, look at that layer. Oh my gosh, it's some perfect flat magic. Center it up. I'm gonna add 1 cup of frosting right on top. 1, 2/3, 1 cup. Spread that out. Okie dokie. Add the next layer on. Ooh. And now we're gonna completely cover the cake in frosting. And because this is a really loose, luscious cream cheese frosting, I'm probably gonna do like a nice swoopy moment. The spicy amazingness coming off this cake is so good. Here's the deal. The easiest way to decorate a cake with frosting like this is just to swoop it down to the sides and let gravity help you out. Gravity is your friend today. Get a mostly flat layer, then just let gravity pull the frosting down. And you can do some corrections, but the main thing is you don't want to scrape the cake and bring it up. You want to bring the frosting down. That way you won't get crumbs on your tool. La la la. One of the nice things about a swoopy cake is it's a total trick. It makes you think, oh my gosh, this cake is covered in inches of frosting, but it's actually a really thin layer, and it's just a trick of the cake decorator to make it look like there's more. Just be patient, don't try and rush it. My cake's completely covered. Now for the fun part. Grab your spatula and you're gonna just swoop your little heart out. You wanna have big, bold swoops that cut into the frosting almost until it changes color to be the color of the cake. That way you can get a lot of height and drama and everything else cool happening. And people are like, oh my gosh, that cake looks amazing. I want a bite. Well, well, well. That looks pretty luxurious and swoopy if I don't say so myself. I think this, I'm gonna clean the edge up, but I think it might look nice with just a little tiny bit of spice on top to remind people this is an amazing spice cake. Give your cake a cut and you're ready to enjoy. So soft, oh my gosh. Full of spices, creamy, luscious, and amazing. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like this video, check out my holiday playlist.